The best salespeople in the world are the ones who do it without you even noticing. Everyone's a salesperson, especially if you're an entrepreneur. In the I'm Not Salesy podcast, join me, Cassie McKenzie, and my fabulous guests as we dive into the top strategies, mindset, and energetics around sales and money so that you can hear more, yes, I'm in, instead of crickets or getting ghosted. So if you're ready to fully book out your programs with aligned AF clients and have people chasing you down in your inbox, asking how to work with you, then subscribe to this podcast today and become not salesy too. Oh my God, I feel like this episode is really overdue, and I want to explain, speaking of do, and the woo, if you had been a previous listener of the Topless Manifestor podcast, which was my podcast prior to this one, all about like manifestation and money and things like that, I want you to know that I'm bringing a lot of that magic here, but we're putting a sales spin on it because I'm so dedicated to helping women and men, but just whoever, helping you to become comfortable with the sales process and become really freaking good at it, because there's a ripple effect that happens. There are a lot of people out there whose lives are changed by the amazing work you do, okay? And I feel like I need to come in here today and set the stage this week for how important clearing your energy out, making sure it's squeaky clean. And I hate using the word squeaky clean because it's just like, bleh. What could I use instead? At some point, I'm going to come up with something. But like, it doesn't matter because you get the point. You need to make sure that your energetic field, your energetic vibration, your whole being, whatever you want to call it, the way you are, it's the way you are every day. You want to make sure that that is as resistance free and as muckiness free as you possibly can. And here's why. That's what makes you efficient. If you want to work less and make more money, then your energy is the ticket. If you want to attract better clients and have them pay you even more, so you have to work with fewer people in a much deeper scale that gets even more amazing results, then your energy is going to be the ticket, not the strategy. If you want to serve the opposite, if you want to serve 1,000 clients and touch as many lives as possible around the world in the shortest amount of time, like with one-to-many offers or things like that, then your energy is going to be the ticket. And if you want to live a better life, if you want to be happier every day, that's your energy. So energy goes far beyond belief. Somebody was asking me about this on LinkedIn the other day because I said, you need to have a structure behind the way you do business, that like that supports the energy with the strategy, right? You need to have a structure in place that supports, mixing that energy with the strategy. And she was like, ooh, energetics. I'm curious about that. And I said, well, there's an energetic thread that goes between you and everything you do. And it's not so much about what you do, but it's about who you be when you do it, right? Like you heard the whole saying, it's not what you do, it's who you are when you do it. And what that means is how you show up every day behind the scenes and in front of the camera or on the computer screen or in front of your customers. All of that, all completely adds up to give you your average energetic vibration, right? And that's going to be the magnetism point for you, skyrocketing your authority, making more sales, having more sales calls, attracting more clients, getting out of the hustle mentality. All of these things are all related to your energy. And when you apply the strategy to your peak energetic vibration, then that's when you start to see results that are out of this world. And that's why I'm so passionate about teaching my clients, not just about, do this strategy, show up and do a sales call just like this, following these steps. No, because you could show up feeling like shit, not like really believing in yourself, and follow those steps and get shitty results, or you could, and like I said, energy goes far beyond just belief. Okay. This is where your confidence comes in. This is where you're like just a buzzing around you, just this magnetic vibe, this, I got this. That's the it factor, right? All of this is related to your energetics. That's why it's so important to pay attention and to really, as much as you want to follow your day-to-day to-do list, you need to have a to-be list. Like, what are you doing every day that's going to attract your clients, but what are you being every day that's attracting clients? Like, if you attract a whole lot of people who don't commit to you or don't want to pay or don't feel like they, have to really listen to what you say and they can like ride your ass all the time, then what kind of energetic vibration are you putting out there that says, come to me, come to mama, right? What exactly are you putting out there? You know what I mean? And nod your head to yourself if you know what I mean. And if you're a former manifestation student of mine or a continuation student, right, then you understand what I'm saying, right? There's this embodiment that attracts everything to you. And that embodiment is how you carry yourself when you're taking the actions. And the reason why I say behind the scenes and in front of the camera is a lot of people can say a lot of things in front of the camera, but when you get down to it behind the scenes, they're full of shit, right? I can come in here and tell you, well, I believe in the energetics 100%, and you need to do that too in order to show up and be magnetic. But if behind the scenes, I'm telling my husband, well, this energy is bullshit. Like, it's honestly like such a crock. I can't believe people actually believe this, and I never do any sort of healings on my business or, tap in and get the intuitive messages, which you can get too, even if you don't know that you have been following your intuition. This is what I teach you to do very simply and easily. And it changes your life and it changes your business every single time I do this with my clients. Make you cry, make you laugh, make you make money, all the things. This is just the ticket to it. If I'm telling you that I think energetics is really important, but then I'm not doing any breath work that I really believe in, right? If I'm not doing the techniques that I teach you in my Sales Queen Takeover, and then I'm showing up and making a sales pitch and then my energy's all whack. Like there's a lot of duplicity there, right? There's no continuity. I'm not walking the walk and talking the talk, right? If I say that mindset's really important, but yet I sit here and say I'm really, really blocked and I'm just going to ignore that and hope it goes away, then, there's no continuity there, right? There's no integrity. Like I see people out there who are mindset coaches, but they're being so paralyzed by their own minds and like teaching about limiting beliefs, but yet throwing out limiting beliefs left, right, and center, and it's affecting their results, right? I see people who are teaching a whole bunch of strategy, but then behind the scenes, they never actually take those strategic steps themselves, or they never have before. They just learned it from someone else and then turn around and try to sell it. And it just doesn't work, right? So if you're finding that you're taking all the steps, you're doing all the work, you're strategically implementing everything as much as you possibly can, then I suggest you go take a look at what are you doing from an energetic perspective? What kind of, and energetics goes beyond mindset, okay? It goes way beyond journaling, doing mindset work, doing belief work and affirmations. It's way beyond that. That is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many other things that you could be doing also, energetically speaking, that will collapse time and get you the results you want faster. This is the work. This is what we do in the programs, like in my Sales Queen Takeover. A lot of the work that we do in there is me teaching you these energetic hacks that speed up the results for you. And guess what? It feels better when you're showing up, doing the strategic steps. It actually feels better and easier for you because you're more tuned in and tapped in. All right. And then that turns on the results for you. It turns on the faucet. All right. And so let's see, where do I want to go with this? Where do I want to leave you here? All right. I just want to ask you a question. What are you committing to this week with respect to energetics? Okay. Are you going to tap into your tune into your body and see, okay, where does it feel like I'm feeling resistance here? Where does the tightness feel? What is the tightness telling me? All right. There are so many times in my past when I wasn't getting the results I wanted, and I felt this tightness in my heart. I just felt it there every day, and I hoped it would just go away. Like, I'm just going to go lay down and meditate. I get a good night's sleep and I'll wake up and it's going to be gone. And it wasn't gone. It just got more. It just got worse. And when I said, I want help releasing this. Like, I want to know what to do to release this. Like how they say, like, ask and when you're ready, the teacher appears. Like, the teachers did appear. That's when I took steps. And guess what? The right steps aren't going to be free. Okay? I want you to also know this, because I see a lot of people out there struggling and they really want to get amazing results and have amazing clients come in and sign with them, but yet they're just willing to do the bare minimum. Like, they sign on with one coach and they know that coach isn't delivering for them, but yet they just keep staying in this lack mentality of, well, I got to stay with this one coach because I can't join another program. You might need several different coaches. And I'm going to tell you, my husband was unemployed and my business was bringing in the bare minimum, in my opinion. When I invested in a coach at $10,000, I signed on with another coach for some one-on-one work. I did some one-on-one NLP timeline therapy with another coach. I signed on with another one for, what was the program around? Around like learning how to use a social media platform better. It was LinkedIn, actually. Yeah. And so, but this was several months ago. Like, these are over the last year, I've worked with probably 10 different coaches. And the reason I've done that at various different levels, like obviously it wasn't all $10,000 each, right? But you've got to stay open to what is going to be the thing that helps you move the needle, because eventually everything starts to culminate, right? Everything. And there are like when I say timeline therapy, that's one thing that I do with my clients that actually helps you collapse decades into days. You literally see and you recognize what block has been keeping you mindset wise from the results that you desire. And it opens up such a huge avenue for you to move forward and leave these limiting beliefs behind, like generationally behind. Once you clear them out with timeline therapy, they're gone. They're just gone. They're not there anymore. It's magical. So I'm actually trained in timeline therapy, but sometimes I hire that out for myself because, I might not be able to do it for myself. So I schedule a session with one of my timeline therapists so that we can get this out of the way as fast as possible. Because that's what you got to, even if you're the best mindset coach in the world, you're not going to be able to see your own blocks, right? You're not going to be able to always take yourself through the process. So ask for help. Do what you need to do. Get a job to get more cash coming in. If you know that there's something out there that's going to help you with your business, energetically, you need to be showing up 100%. Okay? Strategically, you need to be showing up 100% too. And showing up for yourself is one of the fastest ways to do that. So that's what I see really making a big difference between the people who succeed and the people who stay where they are. The ones who succeed and move from next step to next step to next step are the ones who are willing to do whatever it takes. And like I said, I don't mean you need to go pay $50,000 to, find the next guru. But if there's a program you need to join that's $3,000, but it's going to make you $10,000 every single month, then the math is there. It makes sense. Get your credit card out and pay for it and go do it. Get in the room. Put yourself, especially like I laugh because in my sales programs, I literally have you practice selling with, like in Sales Queen Takeover, one of the things we're doing is something that worked for me so well back when I was a pharmaceutical rep. Like, we used to go through world-class training and we'd be stuck in New Jersey for like 3 months at a time. And so when we were in training though, what they would do is they'd teach us a concept and they'd teach us, like, for example, some messaging. But if I just walked away, I learned that messaging from the marketing department and passively listened to it. And I was just, my stomach was grumbling. So I'm worried about like, wondering what we're having for lunch. And then 3 weeks later, go into my sales territory and I think I'm going to remember how to say the messaging. Like that's not what works, but that's what people try to do online. You try to take a sales course and write some notes down and then go live your life. And then once you finally get around to deciding to sell, you're like, oh shit. Okay. What was I going to say again? Ooh, you've been there. You've done that. I've done that. And I've got a huge sales background. But like in my sales training, what they would have us do is they'd teach us the concept and implement it right away. We'd get together, we'd do role plays, we'd practice verbalizing back and forth. Somebody would even throw in an objection and then we'd handle the objection right there. And it wasn't about like convincing a doctor. It was about being able to know what tools to use, when to use them, which questions and types to ask, what lines to take them down in order to get to the end point that we wanted to get to with this discussion. If you think about it online, there's no difference, right? In my pharmaceutical career, I'm sitting there talking to a doctor who's treating a patient in a way that's outdated with outdated products. For example, fucking thing that used to, no pun intended, burn me up. I used to sell an eye drop for patients or for kids, for little babies that got pink eye. And the product I sold, literally when you put the eye drop in, the patient couldn't even tell that you did it. There was no burning. It actually like felt pretty close to normal. Like the pH level was just about what the your pH level of your eyeball is, right? However, there were some doctors also sulfur. Sulfur works and treats pink eye too. But you have to give the more drops. You have to give like 10 drops a day for a longer period of time than what my product was. My product was 2 drops a day for 7 days. Didn't feel it. Patients loved it. Most of the time it cured it in like 2 or 3 days, so they didn't even need the full course. Sulfa doesn't work as well. It burns the hell out of your eyes. You have to give it to your little babies 4 times or 6 times a day for 10 days. Now, you tell me, would you feel good sitting there getting like a meh, all right, sure, but I'm just going to do what I'm going to do, like walking away from a call right there with that doctor, accepting his apathy when he's going to turn around and go write a prescription probably 5 more times that day for little babies that have to take sulfa, knowing that those babies are going to literally feel burning in their eyes for multiple times a day for the next week and a half. You think that sounds good to you? So for me to learn in my sales training how to effectively handle an objection where the doctor says sulfa works too and it's cheap. Well, if I didn't know how to go toe to toe with that doctor and really ask the right questions to get him to see that what he was doing was actually harming his patient, right? I'm not going to sit there and say you're harming your patient, but I am going to ask a question that says, so, at what level is like patient, like at what level is a baby like feeling pain, going to affect you? Like avoiding that baby having to feel pain when they're getting, like, is it not worth $20 to a mom for her to not have to fight her baby 6 times a day? Like, please. I'm a mom. If I had to sit there and put something in my kid's eyes that I knew I could just do once or twice a day, right? Like, I'm getting into the weeds here, but you see where I'm going. And I'm telling you this to tell you this. In my sales training program, that's what I'm going to have you do, where you're going to be able to sit there with somebody else and go through these kinds of conversations as it pertains to your specific offer that you have, so that not only do you get comfortable talking about your offer, but you get comfortable having discussions where somebody says, well, I don't know, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it next time. I don't know if I need that. I think I'm okay. If you don't know how to have a conversation with somebody about what's going on in their head and coach them through it, then you're not going to feel comfortable bringing that up in a conversation when it's an actual sale. And this goes beyond you making money. This goes beyond that completely. The whole point of this is that you get out and help people. That's what you really want to do. How many times have you said, oh my God, I just want to go out and I want to help people. I just want to sell this so I can help people. It just drives me crazy that I can't. Like, if it's not selling, I can't help anybody, right? So if you're not helping anybody and if your product's not selling, then not only do you feel like shit, but they still feel like shit too. So it's of your utmost importance to learn how to effectively have these discussions with potential clients that you meet online in a way that feels natural, feels normal, feels like you're helping them, and doesn't feel like you're being pushy or salesy. Because believe me, I am the first one to back down when I feel like I need to be salesy. I still do it. I still call myself out for it, but it doesn't help anybody when I'm not being at my A game, right? And it usually does come down to me, practicing on my own too. So all of these energetics, all of this strategy, all of these things all come together, and it really is the whole basis and foundation of your business. And if you have a coaching or consulting business out there and it's not making sales, then it's a hobby, it's not a business. And I want you to have a booming business because of the ripple effect there. The more people you're helping out there, the more lives are changed, the more their kids' lives are changed. They might sit there and smile at an old lady walking down the street who felt shit about herself because she has to walk with a walker. They might open the door for somebody with a wheelchair. They might help their next door neighbor's kids learn how to play basketball, because they're feeling better about themselves because you've helped them change their lives, right? You see where they go out and help other people change their lives. There is a huge ripple effect here, and that's why it's so important for you to learn how to sell your programs effectively. So if you want to do that with me, Sales Queen Takeover is open right now, and it's I'm accepting 3 more people in with an amazing freaking bonus that you'll find out if you message me the word takeover on Instagram or LinkedIn, and we can chat. And you can say takeover bonus. I want you to mention that you heard this on the podcast because I have a special bonus for you if you listen to this podcast and you reach out to me. All right. With that being said, I'm going to go and do my actual energy healing techniques. I do a special energy cord technique that I teach you in Sales Queen Takeover 2 that actually opened up. Last time I did it, I signed a client, like a $65,000 client. Amazing, right? And it's so aligned and so fun. I just love this work we do because it feels so easy. I can do it in my sleep. And I want you to feel like that too. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will see you next week. Bye. If you've ever sat there and looked at your DMs and been like, oh my God, this is literally full of crickets. Like there's nothing going on but the rent here. And you're like, oh my gosh, what does it take to actually have an inbox full of people wanting to work with me, having leads coming to me every day, having people saying, send me the link, and really have these results that you see other people having, and you just like think that there's something wrong with you because you're not getting it? If this is you, then listen up. I have the most amazing way to work together. And I feel like this is something that you don't have to experience, right? If you've posted up content every single day for months now and you're still not getting any inbound leads reaching out to you, and you actually want to fill your programs with ideal clients and have people saying, send me the link, and really build your business, but you feel like it should be working right now, then don't throw in the towel. Come to Mama Cass. I want to see you filling your programs with dream clients. I want you to feel like you're so completely confident when you're promoting your programs, and that you hear way more of a yes instead of getting ghosted, and you know exactly what to say during your sales conversations. And when you show up, whether it's in the DMs and you're talking to like the crazy amount of people that really want to work with you, or you're on a sales call, I want you to be able to get on the phone and get on sales calls with people who are already pre-sold, saying, how can we get started without you even having to pitch them? And even when you do have to pitch them and you get to that point in the sales call, it's so easy breezy that it's just like, it's easy as breathing, right? I want you to know that this is possible, because this month I'm starting with a group of experts, a group of coaches and consultants who really want to grow their business. And I'm going to teach you how to turn your coaching business into a sales machine, but one that's actually fun to run, right? Like the Maserati of sales machines, a Porsche, right? So we're going to go way past just giving you trainings and processes to create a steady flow of inbound quality leads. I'm actually going to be practicing scenarios with you so that you know how to close your sales, you know how to develop customer relationships, and you get real-time feedback on your actual DMs so that you start closing sales in the DMs and you start hearing more yes on your sales calls. And I'm even going to give you the tools to clear out the old fears and beliefs and the frustrating emotions that have prevented you from making sales so that you start stacking money in your bank account. There's nothing else like this online. I expect this first group to fill up really quickly, and I want you to send me a DM on Instagram or on LinkedIn with the word sales. Tell me that you heard this on the podcast and I will get you the details because I want to see you wildly successful. I want this ripple effect to really take off. It makes me happier to see your results than to see my own, because it means that this ripple effect is happening and that the work we do together is going far beyond just the call that we are on, that it's going on to impact your clients and impact the lives surrounded by them as well. This is the vibe. So this is what we're doing in the Sales Queen Takeover. You're going to learn how to attract leads that are aligned with you, that feel great working with. You're going to learn how to do this in a way where you're able to easily close them on the sales calls, easily close in the DMs, so that you can get to work helping the people who need you most, and that you can have an insane amount of impact on the world on a daily basis. So I look forward to seeing you there. I am so excited for this to get started, and I can't wait to hear what you create. If you loved this episode of I'm Not Salesy, then go ahead and hit subscribe so that you're notified of the next episode. And also leave a 5-star rating and a review. And if you send it to the link in the show notes, we will send you a present in return. We also love to feature reviews on the podcast as well. So we'd love to feature yours. So go ahead and send a screenshot to the inbox and come find me on social media. I love hearing what you're up to and how you're becoming not salesy too. I'll see you in the next episode.